Okay, so we're going to go through the correct answers for the Econ MCQ. Uh, First of all, which is the most fundamental issue that economics addresses? The correct answer is, of course, scarcity and the use of scarce resources. How do you use limited resources to fit unlimited wants? Next up, we have inflation. Inflation occurs when there is a sustained price increase in which of the following? The correct answer is the average price level. So the average price level increasing is what inflation is. Which of the following is least likely to promote economic growth? And so the least likely to promote economic growth, what would not cause the economy to grow, would be increased consumption in non-durable goods. This would mean that you would have money being spent on non-durable goods. These don't help create anything new in the future. Investment in tools and machines would actually create better productivity in the future. Investment in training of labour, more human capital, better in the future. Tax credit for technology improvement, again, shift to PPC. Increasing the labour force participation rate means that you've got a greater number of people working, so increasing your resources. Okay, an increase in the spending in an economy will cause a multiplied increase in gross domestic product because as one person spends their money, that becomes somebody else's income as well. So as consumption increases as income increases, and so on. This becomes a spiraling effect. So if I get paid more money, I can spend more money. If I spend more money, then somebody else gets paid more money. In the circular flow diagram of market economy, which of the following supplies the factors of production? The factors of production are supplied by the household sector. They supply them to the firms who pay wages, and the household sector then go and buy products from the business sector. Increase in which would most likely result in an increase in aggregate supply. An increase in price level would cause movement along the aggregate supply. An increase in aggregate demand would possibly give us a new equilibrium point, but not an increase in the aggregate supply. Unemployment compensation. If we increased unemployment compensation, more people would be likely to be unemployed or to choose to be unemployed. So that wouldn't help. Labour force participation rate. If we have more people working, we can supply more. If the minimum wage increased, we'd probably find some more people not working. So which of the following will cause an increase in aggregate demand? Again, an increase in the price level will cause movement on the aggregate demand. A decrease in income taxes. If you decrease the income taxes, you will increase the amount of money that people have to spend, so they will consume more. If they have an increase in demand for money, that won't affect the aggregate demand. A decrease in the supply of money. So if there's less money available, well, there's going to be less demand. And a decrease in government transfer payments would mean that the money hopefully would be spent somewhere else by the government. Hopefully the government would just put it in their pockets. So all of those would not cause an increase. The increase would be caused by a decrease in income taxes, which gives consumers more to spend. Which of the following would most likely cause an increase in the real output in the long run? Decrease in labour force, not going to cause an increase. An increase in the velocity of money. I don't know what this is. Probably not the right answer. An open market sale of government bonds by the central bank. I don't really know what this is. An increase in immigration from abroad. Oh, more people in the country. This means this would be the correct answer. Again, an increase in the price level would cause movement along the curve rather than movement of the curve. Potential GDP will decrease under which of the following conditions? The growth rate of the population increases more rapidly than the growth rate of the GDP. That's not going to work. Nominal GDP increases more than real GDP product. This will just affect this is just the inflation rate. Natural rate of unemployment decreases. If the natural rate of unemployment decreases, that means that there will be a higher labour force participation rate, which will cause the potential GDP to increase. The country's annual depreciation is greater than its annual gross investment. This is the correct answer. If the value is going, if we're losing money more than we're actually spending in the business products, and the machinery, so if machinery is breaking down quicker than it's actually being fixed, then this will cause a decrease. If production technology of a good improves and at the same time the number of consumers willing to and able to buy the good in the market increases, which of the following will definitely occur? So we need to draw the graph, and production technology improves, so we get an increase in the supply. At the same time, the number of consumers increase. We're moving to the right, so supply is moving to the right, demand is moving to the right. That means that the quantity will definitely increase. We don't know what will happen with the price. It might go up, it might go down. Increase in the real per capita income of a country is most likely closely associated with increases in which? Increases in the labour force. Well, if the labour force went up, yes, the per capita income would go up. Well, you'd be dividing by a greater number, so that would mean it would go down. Price level means it's not going to affect it because it's the real. Productivity, tax rates, money supply. Correct answer would be B, productivity. CPI is criticised for overstating the true burden of inflation because it doesn't recognise consumers' ability to substitute goods. So when the price of something goes up, you generally can switch to something else. The CPI, Consumer Price Index, has fixed goods in the basket. So if the price of apples goes up, perhaps you still eat fruit, but you switch to bananas. Frictional unemployment occurs from which of the following happenings? A worker is replaced by robots on factory assembly lines. A worker voluntarily quits a job for a better one. Is the correct answer. So when they're looking for a new job, frictional unemployment. Assuming aggregate supply curve is upward sloping, if both aggregate supply and aggregate demand increase, what will happen to the equilibrium output and price level? Aggregate supply and aggregate demand increase. We know, similar to the question above, that supply and demand shift to the right, meaning there'll be an increase, and the increase in the price level will be indeterminate. Finally, the natural rate of unemployment is defined as the unemployment rate, the labour force participation rate, accelerating inflation. The economy's long-run equilibrium rate of unemployment.